You can build $1 million a year business hauling literal poop. Today, I'm breaking down why septic pumping might be the most profitable blue-collar business and how to start one or buy one without stepping in it. Do you want to make $20,000 to $30,000 a month? Here's the catch. It's dirty, it smells, and it breaks down at the worst times, but it can make you filthy, stinking rich. Today, I'm breaking down the truth about starting or most likely buying a septic pumping business in 2025. We'll cover how much it actually costs, how much you're gonna make, what sucks about it, and why it might be the best business decision you've never thought of owning. There's over 21 million septic systems in the United States that are active right now. That's 21 million tanks that need to be pumped every 2 or so years, and no matter what the economy is doing, people need it done. That number is growing. Why? Because the infrastructure in cities and in suburbs is only built for so much capacity. And as the more houses are getting put in down the street out in rural areas, they're moving to septic. That means for every new build that's out there, that's a future customer. This business is recession resistant. It's blue collar, it's route based, it's AI resistant, and more importantly, nobody wants to do it. Which means if you're willing to, you have very little competition and very sticky customers. How do you get into this game? There's really two paths. You have buy and you have build. If you start with the build path, you're going to expect to spend about $150,000 to $200,000 just to get going. You're buying a used truck, that's going to be $100,000 to $150K easy. Permits and disposal site contracts, you're in another $10,000 to $30,000. Parts and pieces, branding, insurance, first few jobs, marketing, you're looking at $10,000 to $15K just to get in the game. Plus, all the mistakes, all the waiting, if you don't do something right, that's on you. On the flip side, you can look into buying a small septic business, and that already has trucks, it already has customers, it already has a route day one and people that know what they're doing. You can shortcut that 2 to 3 years of pain. And plus, if you're going to spend that same $200,000, if you were to use a program like the SBA 7A, you're able to take that $200,000 as a 10% that's required and buy essentially a $2 million septic and pumping company. This company is going to be established. It's going to have the SOPs and the routes and the customers and the trucks and everything you need to get going. But what is the work, if you were to do either way, actually like? And let me be clear with you guys, this business is not clean. It's hard, it's blue collar, it's manual labor, and in some days, you're gonna have to be out in the field. And in those days, you might burn your clothes in the driveway. I mean, you're dealing with human waste that's been sitting in the ground, sometimes for 10, 15, 20 years. You're navigating tight driveways. You're praying the dump site's open on a Friday afternoon so you don't have to let this sit in your truck for the next 2 days. You probably need a CDL in most locations if you're going to do it yourself. But if you're not going to do it yourself, you're going to have a hard time with the labor market because you still have to find drivers who have CDLs, and instead of trucking, they want to pump poop. This is why this business pays so well. It's because very few people can stomach the work, and it's a difficult business. But this is where it gets interesting, right? Is a single system pump out. So that's you sending a truck out on site, the truck stopping for an hour, pumping all the stuff out of their septic tank, washing it down. That's usually around $500. And the cost, maybe $50 to $100 in labor and fuel, and a little bit more on top of that for the dump fee. So you're looking at about COGS at 50, 60%, 70% in some cases, which means you're walking away with about $300 to $400 in profit per job. So most solar owner operators can do about 3 to 5 jobs a day. One truck running full time can do about $500,000 to $750,000 a year. But if you buy a business that has 2, 3, 6, 7 trucks, you're able to move really quickly into the multiple 6-figure income territory. Margins on these businesses are huge because they're labor only for the most part. I mean, you could do installs, but specifically what we're talking about for just pumping, you're looking at like 40%, maybe 30% net labor, which means that if you run $1 million business, that's 2 trucks running the minimum that they can do, that's going to generate $300,000 to $400,000 in your pocket, or that you can utilize to put back in the business. But here's the stuff that nobody tells you on the how to start a business TikToks. Getting your license and then getting the permits can take months to do. Not all counties are friendly to new septic haulers, and some won't even let you dump in their facility without a fight. Not to mention, there's some municipalities like California that are really tight with their regulations about what type of trucks you can use, how you can use them. They have truck inspections. And so sometimes when you're on the build path, it can be a difficult journey just to even start day one, versus if you buy with the 7A, you can buy all that stuff pre-built in, which is really nice. You have to deal a lot of times with customers, right? Customers, the general public, can be a hassle, but specifically in this business, it's an emergency situation, and a lot of people don't know about their septic system. They don't know where their septic tanks are, they can't find the lid, and now you're stuck out. Unless you're going to charge an extra fee, which you might want to do, they're going to have trouble finding the lids. Your team is going to be wasting time with reroutes and frozen lids and last minute emergencies. It's a difficult job. And then not to mention marketing. How do you market a septic company? You're not going to use Facebook Marketplace. You're going to compete in the Google sphere. But on a good note, there is some opportunity around being able to pull permits from the county so you can see who's installing septic systems when, and then you can market directly to those customers. So there's some catch-22s there that make it amazing, but also makes it rough. Overall, all in all, this business prints cash. The key is you just have to know what you're doing, or you have to buy a business that's big enough that other people know what they're doing, and you can kind of use your skill set to complement that really quickly. So, should you start a septic business in 2025? Should you buy one in 2025? It's up to you. If you want something essential, recession-resistant, AI-resistant, with huge profit margins and minimal competition, and you're the type of person who's not afraid to get your hands a little dirty, then yeah, this might be the best business that nobody's talking about. If you want to go deeper, subscribe to the channel. We got a bunch of upcoming videos on this kind of stuff, on how to buy a septic business the right way. I'm Jack Carr. I run home service businesses and help other operators like you find real success in the trades. No fluff, no mess. I'll see you on the next one.